Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion.
Hello once again and welcome to Poetry in Motion Sunday. I'm Craig Lewis and you're watching episode 72. As we begin with my first poem, this one's called City Pub Crawl. It's a must one talks about their city, like you do yours. My hometown's rather small if you drink and like to pub crawl and feel like a nice pint in between your fingertips, or maybe a gin. There's a spot down Westgate Street that they call the Fountain Inn. And if one mentioned burger, then maybe you would grin, 'cause burgers they do serve unlike a hotel you check in. But if you're only passing off the road and came to visit Gloucester looking for some pubs to crawl, I could give a tip. In Southgate Street you'll find a pub that they call the Tall Ship. And if a little later you fancy the little change up, further down the road is a pub they call Baker Street. But if you want good music to make your night complete, there's a place called Cafe Rennie. Bottles of wine you may see many on the wall. If you try to drink as many as you saw, you'd likely fall as if you tripped. This is 3 pubs that I named which you could find in this same strip. But Eastgate is the place if you like to boogie proper. But if after you like some food, there's more to offer. There's a taxi rank down by the pub they call the Doctor. There's many more to add, but I won't list them all. I just give you a few in case that you were new to this place called Gloucester looking for some pubs to crawl. And moving on to my second poem, this one's called Visuals Impact the Nature. There's this one thing I've observed what's out here in the cold. It's the increase of the officers driving down the road. Sticking to the promise 5 years ago we were told about the boys on the beat, that the increase of their presence would be witnessed on the streets. And if one had £1 for every heard siren, one could stop working for money and focus on retiring. 'Cause the woo-woo I keep hearing's not coming from the firemen. I'm not for politics, but the Conservatives, some admire them and their attempts to keep the British streets safer. But that can't truly change till the love is gained for thy neighbour. Still the youth persist to walk with knives, and that's the danger. Whether you depend on the government or the saviour, 20,000 more bobbers on the street can't really change the mentality of the youth or their behaviour. 'Cause that can't really change till the love is gained for thy neighbour. As many choose the fast lane opposed to them doing labour. So many take the risk to get nabbed and shot by the taser. The school would be the only place they wore a tie and blazer. It's monkey see, monkey do, visuals impact the nature. It's monkey see, monkey do, visuals impact the nature. And moving on to my third and final poem of the day, this one's called Foreign Land. Like being lost in a country, 40 degrees would force you to your knees to call on the Lord or police for a storm at least to cool one down till sundown. Whilst up goes the prayers that the lost is found. To travel, yes, is great with the family or the mates, but Jerry's now in hospital because of something that he ate, had poisoned him like a snake. The nurses speak in foreign, so he finds hard to relate. There were complications pronouncing the food that's on his plate. Like a hawk, his people back home watch his socials for updates. Much faith within his family as they kneel down and they pray. It seems there are pros and cons when you take a holiday to lay on some foreign sand with the perception of a stranger dwelling on a foreign land. And there you have it, your Poetry Fix from me this week. I hope you enjoyed. Until next week, short and sweet. Take care.
Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday.